understand about a strong black woman? Why is it that they can't see the Gary Puna spirit in me? Good night to members of the team that would be taking this country forward following the next general election. A special good night to the next representative of Central Leeward, Mr. Ben Exeter. And a wonderful night to all of you, my brothers and sisters. Are you ready? The NDP, we are ready. I am ready. Last Saturday, I made my political debut in Mariaqua, which is the constituency from which I hail. And the ULP guns came out blazing. But I'm not worried about them. They have to do so much more before they can ruffle my feathers. As a young woman now entering the field of politics, I will, however, let them know that I am a batswoman. So whether they bowl a spin, a fast, a bouncer, or a yorker, I would hit it out of the pitch for six. I would send them to cricket, and I will tell them ball again. Because whether it's a 20 overs, a 50 overs, or a test match, I am ready for any version of the game. I am not concerned about what the ULP wants to say about me, you know. I am not. What I am concerned about is the youth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the way they are being treated by this Unity Labour Party government. What I am concerned about is the financial mess that they will be leaving this country in for us to deal with. What I am concerned about is the unemployed youths on the street corner and those at home who still have to depend on mommy and daddy, while St. Vincent Beach, who should be at home, enjoying his retirement, is making enough money per month that could employ 4 to 5 young people. Is it that the Unity Labour Party is telling us the youth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not ready by keeping St. Vincent in the workforce? Well, I tell you, the NDP says we are ready. St. Vincent is sitting on enough more to build a whole house. How can a prime minister, how can one be a prime minister and watch young people unemployed, jobless, without hope, surrendering their manhood, women on the verge of compromise, while he has an 84-year-old retiree who, I should remind you, was the one who said to us that if the integrity legislation is not passed within 100 days, don't look for him. Well, we didn't have to look for him, you know, because he never went into hiding. What I am concerned about is the youth with associate degrees, with 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 subjects who have to apply to Subway for a job. What I am concerned about is the young men and young women who have to compromise themselves to satisfy their wants and needs. What I am concerned about is those of our youth who have to indulge in criminal activities to support themselves. These are the things that I am concerned about. You know, once I read somewhere that there was a man with 4 sons. One has a bachelor's degree. The other has a master's degree. The third had a doctorate. And the fourth was a thief. He was complaining to his friend about his son. So his friend said to him, so then why don't you throw out the thief? Because then the others need to assist you. He said, no, I can't. Because the thief is the one who's supporting the family. Can you imagine that? Is that what we want St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be like? I don't want to see our youth with bachelors, masters and doctorates sitting at home. That is not what I want to see. And that is why the New Democratic Party says that at least one person in every household should be employed. Think about it. Do you understand what the NDP is really saying to us? Do you understand the difference it will make if at least one person in every household is working? The NDP. We are ready. I am aware that the government will not be able to create jobs for all of us. But at least they should be empowering us by providing the opportunities so that we can fend for ourselves. My youth, do not stifle your conscience. Are you seeing this happening under a unity Labour Party government? Youth, it's time for us to take this country forward. It is time for us to elect into office a new Democratic Party government that will look out for our best interests. You know, last Saturday, I spoke about this country's failed education revolution. And I took a lot of licks for it from persons with clear political bias. After speaking about an education revolution that the Unity Labour Party is using against you and your child, I was chastised as being ungrateful because according to them, I am a product of the education revolution in the form of a Taiwan government scholarship. I am not a product of what they are boasting about. I am a product of a former government, an NDP government, who ensured that I was able to read and write efficiently before I went to secondary school. And tonight, for those of you who are throwing on my name as if it was bubblegum, let me put all you in all your place right now. For those of you who said that the Prime Minister was instrumental in giving me a scholarship, let me put all you in all your place right now. My boss, it was my boss, Mr. Douglas the Freitas, who during a meeting with the then ambassador, Elizabeth Chu, asked her to grant me a scholarship. It was him. It was him. So when are you ready for talk? Are you make sure you have the facts? And I will tell you something. It was also that man, Mr. Douglas the Freitas, who refused, even though I went away for 5 years, he refused to employ anyone so that I would come back and get a job. Because he knew that I have a son that I had to take care of. And all you want to talk about being ungrateful? All you want to talk about being ungrateful? Now let me tell all you who's ungrateful. Play the clip for me.
He said to me, I mean, probably would never remember this, but you see, these are things I hold there to me. These are things I hold there always. He said to me, he said, I don't know why they have decided who should get a scholarship, yes or no, but I will make sure that your name is on the list, because what you're doing is important not just to this country, but to the region. I was interviewed by Kelly Anthony, the former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, for that scholarship. I didn't get it because I didn't need it. 2 weeks later, I got a letter saying that I was given a full scholarship to do my doctorate. There you go. These are things I never forget. You understand? This is the first time. And you probably don't remember it. But when you call him, when you talk to him later, remind him, I'm sure he will remember. You see, the point I am making is this, that I am not into this divisive political thing that people, I am not into that. That is why I can't be a politician. I am above and beyond that. I will always be above and beyond. Because I could see people's souls. I could see what people are. And I've always said, Mr. Youssef mean well. And I see it from the practical part of my life.
Mr. Richard Cox, one of the very fellas who was on their radio saying that I was ungrateful. The man saying I am ungrateful when Mr. Eustace was the one who actually assisted the man in getting his scholarship. But you never hear Mr. Eustace talk about that. You never heard Mr. Eustace talking about that. He was the one who came out and had to tell us that Mr. Eustace was the one who helped him. And you know what is ungrateful now? He is there. Leveling criticism at Mr. Eustace. So Mr. Cox, when are you ready for talk? When are you ready for talk? If all you don't know the meaning of what ungrateful is, then I suggest all you ask the Prime Minister. You know why? Because straight ahead. I do not have a problem with the government sending children into secondary school. My problem is when you send that child into a secondary school and that child is not prepared for secondary school. You need to remember the motto of the education revolution. It says, no child will be left behind. How many have not dropped out because they can't read? All right. How many? Is the Ministry of Education willing to reveal that information to us? What are the chances of that child making it to the front of the line if he or she can't read? Isn't that child likely to always be behind? And yet, the ULP is criticizing me for being concerned about your children, about our children. You have to be kidding me. Parents, let me tell you something. Every child has the potential to become great. But as long as there's a government in power that is not concerned about your child, then don't expect that child to reach his or her full potential. So support the New Democratic Party, a team that I know will give your children, this country's children, a better future, a brighter future. The NDP, we are ready. I also spoke last Saturday about the way in which the ULP government is disrespecting women of this country. And you know that following my speech on the platform, they tried to tear me to pieces. They were criticizing me for speaking the truth about the education revolution. Did I not tell you last week that that is what the ULP is good for? To tear down, to ridicule, engender fear, and to criticize? So said, so done. So as women, we shouldn't have a voice. As women, we should not criticize anything that is said or going wrong in this country. As women, we should not stand up for what we believe in. As women, we should allow ourselves to be compromised. Women, is that what you want? Are we supposed to be floor mats for the government? Are we supposed to lie down and play dead? We are, after all, not an ISIS country. And I reject out of hand any signs of ISIS behavior here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where women should be seen and not heard. I reject it. I say no to that. And women, you should join me in saying no to that as well. I am a woman who believes in women's rights. And therefore, I will support the New Democratic Party. A party that I know that is championing the cause of women. We have been here for years as leaders in farming, teaching, nursing, and emerging today as women in banking. So women, young and old, do not be afraid to stand up and speak out. Because if you don't, you will continue to be taken advantage of by this government. You know, there's an old saying that goes like this. The longer you dance with the devil, the longer they stay here. So women, let us cooperate. Let us make that change. And you need to remember as well that we are the ones who are raising the men and women of tomorrow. So let us not disappoint them. Now it would be lax of me to stand on the platform of the next representative of Central Layou, Mr. Ben Exeter, and not speak of the strides he made here thus far. So much so that the ULP has to dig up the dead in the form of Sir Louis Straker to represent the people of Central Layou. This move by the ULP is indicative that this government has failed the people of Central Layou and has run out of ideas and cannot compete on their own record. The Unity Labour Party government, and I'm sure you would agree with me, they remain a galvanized, lumber, and non-toilet government. Mr. Exeter's interest is to improve the well-being of all of his constituents. Not some, but all. He has been constantly sharing his concerns about the youth who are soon to exit secondary and college system with no employment prospects. This is a man who is a part of the opposition team, who, even though he is in opposition, has given employment to 6 youths of Central Leeward. So you want to tell me, if he is doing this in opposition, imagine what this man will be doing for you while he is in government. Central Leeward, imagine what he will do for you when he is in government. You know, the days of the old clothes that Sir Louis Straker used to bring from America is gone away. The NDP don't believe in offering handouts and keeping the poor in poverty. The NDP believes in the philosophy of teaching a man to fish so that he could feed himself for a lifetime. Not simply giving him a fish, knowing that he will be hungry again in the next hour. That is not what we are about here in the NDP. And Mr. Exeter wants to feed you for an entire lifetime. In addition to providing employment while not yet in office, Mr. Exeter is also assisting the poor in Central Leeward in sending their children to school. This is a man that clearly cares about the youth of Central Leeward, sponsoring netball teams, sponsoring football teams, so that the youth of Central Leeward will not be idle. How many other candidates do you know running for this constituency who has never been in office is doing what Mr. Exeter is doing? Brothers and sisters of Central Leeward, open your eyes. Do not allow the ULP to trick you and fool you again because this is an election year. Do not allow the ULP and Sir Louis to trick you with promises of what they will do for you after he gets into office. They had 14 years to do that and they fail you. All of a sudden, with elections right around the corner, they have the grandest ideas. Central Leeward, let ULP know that you are no fool. Let ULP know that you are no fool. It took a man like Exeter to travel all the way from Canada to raise the idea of utilizing natural resources in this constituency. And those of you who normally listen to him on his radio program would often hear him raising the point of exporting natural spring water from Central Leeward. So Louis was here for 16 years. Maxwell Charles for 5. All together, that's 21. All together, that's 21. Yet, they never thought of utilizing the resources of this constituency in such a way where employment would be created for the young people of Central Leeward. What is different about Central Leeward after their combined 21 years? My brothers and sisters, do not waste your vote on the ULP and Sir Louis. Place your X for Ben Exeter. Vote for employment. Vote for your future and your children's future. Let's take Central Leeward out of the quagmire that it's currently in. A vote for Ben means development. Ben Exeter, he is ready. My friends, we cannot continue in this vein. It is time for us to allow the new Democratic Party, the party that is made up of a team of capable, experienced, skilled, proficient, knowledgeable men to lead this country. I know that the NDP is being criticized for not having any woman in their slate of candidates, but I am a woman, and as much as I would love to see women in government, it doesn't matter whether the team is all male, it is mixed, or it is all female. That, my friends, that is trivial. What we need is a competent team that is able to move this country forward and offer better hope for all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In addition to that, you also have to remember that those who are in the background are just as important as those on the front line. So do not allow yourself to be sidetracked by ULP and their nonsense. And what you also need to remember, my friends, is that behind every good man is a great woman. And women, we are in. The NDP tent is big enough for all of us. We cannot allow the ULP to manage this country's affairs for another term. It's just not an option, my friends. It's just not an option. If you think it's hard now, imagine what it would be like if we were to give them another 5 years in office. I want for the people of Central Leeward and all the other constituencies to be able again to go into the supermarkets and be able to purchase more, because VAT has been removed from items that taxes should not be on. I want for my people to be able to save for rainy days. I want for when you're sick that you don't have to go to the neighbor and ask the neighbor to lend you a little $100 to go to the doctor, because sooner or later that neighbor is going to throw that in your face. I don't want that for my people. That is not what I want for my people. I want to see the standard of living for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines improve. And this, my brothers and sisters, can only happen under a new Democratic Party government. The new Democratic Party. We are ready. My brothers and sisters, after the past 14 years, particularly the last decade, we are smart enough to know that we cannot put them back there for another term. We have to break that streak for our own good. Let's feel excited about St. Vincent and the Grenadines again. Let us not wish anymore. It is time for action, real action. It is time for us to do. It is time for us to make that change. It is time for us to support the new Democratic Party. It is time for us to take Central Leeward forward. It is time for us to take this country forward. We are ready. The NDP is ready. Ben Exeter, he is ready.